Hi, Dr. Ray.
My name is Dr. Alcantara. Nice to meet you. And how has Pepper been doing today?
Pepper's not feeling very good today.
What's wrong with Pepper?
Well, she got into a fight with another dog, and she's been kind of just acting funny.
Okay, how is she acting funny? Is she walking okay?
Well, she's licking her leg a lot.
Licking her leg a lot. Which leg?
The left one.
Front one?
Yep, the left front one. She's licking it a lot, and she kind of whimpers a little bit whenever I touch her.
Okay.
But she's a good dog. She won't bite you.
Well, it feels like she's a little hot right here. Has she been bitten by another dog or scratched it or?
Well, we do have a neighbor dog that they kind of get in fights sometimes.
Well, it looks like it's a little sore right here, and I feel a little bit of extra fluid in there. She probably has an abscess.
Oh, so what does that mean?
So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make a small little incision in there, drain all the nasty stuff out of there, and then we'll put a little wrap on it, and then we'll send you home on some pain meds so she feels better, and an antibiotic so it helps clean that up.
So she gets to go home today?
Yep.
Okay.
So we'll take her to the back, and we'll go ahead and address this abscess.
Okay,
Come on
so
back here.
we'll follow you to the back. So do many people get to go back into the back with you, Dr. Ray?
Not very many people do, but well, come on back. Let's see what we have.
So what do you do in this room?
So in this room is where we're going to take care of, it's called a treatment room, and we're going to put Pepper on this table here, and then we're going to lean Pepper out over this thing here, so when we cut into this abscess, the abscess, which is on this leg over here, will drain into the sink and won't get all over Pepper.
Okay.
So we're going to go get a blade.
And what's this room?
This room back here is our surgery room, but today we're not going to do surgery because this usually can be done when they're awake.
Okay.
And we'll have the surgery table here. There's instruments and different things that sterilize. A sterilizer is called an autoclave that helps sterilize the instruments. And then we have various other tools to keep your animal under anesthesia and asleep so nothing hurts too bad. But this one here is a pretty easy procedure, and it's mostly done when they're awake. Because it's just a quick little stab procedure. In fact, it probably hurt more to put a catheter in and keep the pet under than it would just make a little quick, what we call a stab incision, and then make the pet feel better.
So how many people do you usually have working with you?
I have, usually there's 2 vet techs, a receptionist, and then there's usually a kennel person outside taking care of the kennel duties and things. So we take this blade here, it's called a number 12 blade. It's got a little hook to it. And it's designed just to penetrate just a little bit and then cut. So what we would do is we would take the blade, we'd have a vet tech hold the animal, and then we'd just take this, we'd make a little stab incision, make a small little incision, probably about that big, into the abscess. All that pus would come leaking out of that abscess, down in this table, and we'd kind of squeeze it out, and the dog would instantly feel that pressure relieved and feel better, and just do a lot better. And get all that infection out of there, and let the pet start to heal. Sometimes if it's bad enough, we'll take a special fluid and we'll put in there and help flush out more stuff out of there. But this one wasn't too bad and it came out pretty easy. And so we'll go ahead and bandage it then after that.
You don't have to put any stitches in it or anything?
Not when they're that small. It's just a small little cut. Like if you got a cut at home, just a small one, it'll heal on its own.
So you just put a Band-Aid on it?
You just put we put a little, we call it 4x4. We usually come back here. We get a little bit of, we'll call vet wrap. And then we get what's called a 4x4. And then we fold this over. And this puts a little bit of pressure on the wound and helps absorb some of the nastiness that can come out of there. And then we'll go ahead and put this on. Usually we unwrap it so it's not quite so tight on the leg. So we'd fold this, put this on the part that was bleeding or pus coming out of it. And then we would wrap it just like that. And everything in veterinary medicine or in human medicine has more difficult names. We say pus generally, but it's called a purulent exudate, more specifically. And then we just put that on like that. And then that'll keep it under control and keep all the nastiness from getting all over everything while it heals for a little bit. And later tonight, the owner can take that off and it should be just fine.
So I don't have to worry about Pepper licking it or anything?
Well, if Pepper licks it, then we have another special little thing that we put on top of Pepper's head.
Because Pepper tends to lick things
This is called an E-collar or Elizabethan collar. And we put this over the head like this, and then that will help keep Pepper from licking at it. There's a little let's make it look like a satellite dish, but it helps them. They can't get to it anymore after that when this is on.
Okay.
And the dogs don't like it, and they're banging all over the place, but it does keep the wound from getting licked on and messed up or reinfected.
And it doesn't hurt them at all?
It doesn't hurt them at all.
So are there shots that dogs have to have?
So our vaccines are kept over here in this refrigerator. They're kept in a controlled environment, cold. We have different things. We have rabies, which are for dogs and cats. We have cat vaccinations over here, respiratory ones and feline leukemia. And then we have our distemper parvo, hepatitis, leptospira, and these two vaccines that have to be mixed together. As you can see, there's a powder in one, and it's all just a powder in there. But we have a liquid that we actually mix in with this vaccine, and then we give it into the animal. So, and then we have kennel cough, influenza vaccine, and the lepto back there. And then we have some various other medications, such as insulin that some animals need to take and things like that. And we keep things refrigerated in here.
And what are these machines for?
These machines are our blood work machines. They are used to find out what is wrong with their animals on the inside. Do we draw some blood out of, usually out of the arm or the neck of an animal. And then we get blood down here, we get a little bit of serum in here, and then we go ahead and run it in these machines to see what's going on.
So do you think that Pepper would need to take any antibiotics or any medicine for her wound?
Yes, Pepper would take some antibiotics, and we have those over here. And depending on the size of the animal, we have liquids or pills. And we would give a pretty good antibiotic over here for an abscess. And then we'd also give some pain medications, once again a liquid or pills, just to help with some pain that is associated with that abscess to make the dog feel better immediately.
Okay, well, you know, I see that there's a room over here. What is this room behind me for?
This room over here, as you can see, it says caution radiation. And right here it says x-rays. This is our x-ray area. We have an x-ray machine inside this room over here.
And Pepper wouldn't need x-rays today?
No, Pepper would not need x-rays today. But here is where we shoot the x-rays. And they lay on this table here. And then they have a little light that tells us where we're shooting at. And little crosshairs. And then a beam will come down through here. It'll get on a plate. And then when we develop that plate, we can look inside the animal. Actually, we'll get on these films. And we'll look inside the animal and we'll look at what's called a light box. Because light comes out of it. But it then shows us the inside of an animal. Now this is not Pepper, this is an actual cat that we had here about a month ago. And it had kittens inside here. And you can see some skulls here and some spines. And this cat had 5 kittens. And they are now born, and I think they're about 4 weeks old now. And they're doing pretty well.
So that cat was pregnant?
This cat was pregnant.
She was
She had
pregnant?
a big stomach here and 5 little kittens inside her.
And they're all healthy now, huh?
And they're all doing very good. You can see the cat's spine right here. You can see some ribs over here. You can see these are the back legs right here. This is the pelvis, and you can see the tail right here.
So does an x-ray hurt them?
An x-ray does not hurt them. It is completely painless.
Whenever I went to to have an x-ray done, though, they put on some special equipment. Do you have special equipment that you wear too?
Yes, we do. So over here, hanging right here, is our equipment that we use to protect ourselves. 1 or 2 x-rays, 10 x-rays on an animal is not going to hurt it. But since we shoot a lot of animals, and here's just some of our x-rays that we've shot right here on this wall and all those packages, we shoot a lot of x-rays.
That's a lot of x-rays.
And that's just some of them. That's just for half a year right there. So on this one here, we have what's called a thyroid shield. And that's what this is. It protects our thyroid from the x-rays.
Is that your throat?
That's in our throat, yes. It's an organ in our throat. And then we have, and this is pretty heavy. This is made out of lead as well as this. And this is what's called a lead apron. And this helps protect our organs. Here we're going to place a catheter in this cat's arm. And then that allows us to have access to the veins in case anything goes wrong and administer some drugs. We're going to extract this tooth here. And this is just 1/3 of the tooth, but this is the last part, and it came out there. And that'll do it.